here we go. Do we need the noise reductor? I put the noise reducer on. I don't know why though. Let me turn the gain down. How's that? That sounds better with the gain turned down, I think. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. USB and stream out. Hello. Hi. How y'all doing? How's everybody feeling? Y'all all right? Meg, you actually got a notification? Big up. Tank, what's up? Did Tank, did you get a notification as well? Did all of y'all get notifications? Because that would be dope. You're better now? That's good. I'm glad. That's a good thing. It's always good to be better. Y'all, I am in the Adapt t-shirt, as you can see today. This is really close, isn't it? Let's move this back a little bit. I'm like all up in y'all face. Y'all see all the gray hair, wrinkles, and everything. Why is he so close? Oh my God, move back. Good Lord, man. How's everybody, yo? How's your day? How's things? Yo, I bought something. They were fine line and brush tip acrylic pens, like permanent, right? I got them for the purpose to mark the bags that I am sewing for the bakemono bags, right? So there are bags, like a shipping bag. I posted it earlier today. Today was a good day. That's good. Oh, you've been there for a while? Well, the thing I learned is, right, the only way to get notifications for the live is if you have all, like if you have all notifications turned on my account, then you'll get all notifications for the live. That's what I found out. So I'm gonna ask y'all a question right now, right? All right, there we go. I can control the music volume via the auxiliary knob on my streaming device here. Y'all, we are 3 minutes away from 2110, which means we are 3 minutes away from back into the book. Can you all hear me clearly? The sound seems to be weird in my earphones. I don't know why. Let me see. I don't know. Something's not. It's kind of muffled to me. But I don't know. You all let me know. How's the sound to you all? Does it sound good? Does it sound all right? Does it sound good? Ay, ay, ay. What a world, right? Y'all, look what I got. Look what I got. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Now, keep in mind, this is my sample, right? Thank you, Carrie. The mic really sounds weird today. I don't know why. All right, how's that sound? Okay, that's better. That's better. Okay, now I know I was sounding crazy. I actually hit the noise reduction button, and there's not a lot of noise around me, so that was weird. Now, you want to hear something interesting about my sample here? On my sample, the maroon and the green are lighter than they're supposed to be. But I ordered my samples so I can check the color. It's supposed to be much darker than that, right? So I did adjust it for the main orders. But I think only 3 people ordered them. So, no, 4. No, 5. Wait, no, 6. 3 people ordered both, and 3 people ordered one. Does that make sense? I sent it to an ex that I haven't talked to in a couple years. He thinks he has it in now. He's like, yeah, she wants me. I'm joking. I don't know the dude, so I take that back. It's like, yeah, and give me some of that again. Mm. Sorry, y'all. I'll be good. I shall be good, y'all. All right, y'all. It is 21:10. I think it's time we get into it. Are we ready? I have to tell y'all something funny later. It's quite interesting. Well, I don't know. I found it funny. Maybe you guys will too. We'll see. Are we ready, everybody? If we are ready to get into the book, drop some pandas and hearts in the chat. If we are ready to get into the book, drop some pandas and hearts in the chat. Like, I have realized that you can't run your live like you do. Like, I can't run my live like I do in TikTok here because there's much less, here. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for liking the live, everybody. My grandson tried to steal a glass. Oh no. Hey, what's up, Jerry? Playing Uno with the family? I don't know about Uno, but we definitely reading the book. Let's get into it, everybody. I can't lie. I would love to be able to put the banner or something up on the screen, but they just don't have that option here. YouTube need to get with it, man. If I stay on YouTube, I'm gonna have to get like a fancy board and put like some, LED thing behind me with a scrolling letters or something. Hey Jerry, welcome to the Vibe Room. Well, I mean, keep in mind, tapping being slower is fine because remember I told y'all only half of your likes on my live even registered. And that was purposely done. When they cool people's account, it basically will only register half their likes. So you can tap like 200, but it'll only register 100. That's why you're sitting there doing this. And then you look down and it only says 89. And you're like, what the hell? That's why. All right, y'all, let's get into this book. Let's get into it. Let me make sure all my charge cables are within view just in case batteries start going low. Let's go, y'all. We are reading the second book of the Witch and Wizard series. James Patterson and guest authors. The particular author for this one, the guest author, is Ned Rust. We left off on chapter 88, where Wit and Wisty were in Miss Mrs. H. What was her name? Highsmith, I think. They were in Mrs. H's house looking into some globe, and she used the power of wit to be able to help her project so they could speak to their father and mother, who are indeed withering away somewhere. And that's where we left off. Where mom says, Wit, I see you so clearly. Can Wisty come a little closer? We need to talk. And that's where we are going, y'all. Let's go. Chapter 89. Wit. Great. We're trying to fight a war. Our parents are scheduled to be executed, and they're having a we need to talk moment. Here's the thing. We never grow up in you never grow up in your parents' eyes. Wisty pushes me to his side a little. I'm here, Mom. Dad, are you okay? We're so worried about you, she says in a burst of words and emotion. Don't worry about us, Dad says firmly, avoiding Wisty's question. We don't have much time, but we wanted to let you know how you're doing. I'm more confused now than I was even a second ago. Shouldn't we be telling you how we're doing? Mom shakes her head. You've been so brave, both of you. We're very proud of your strength and spirit. It's been tough, we know, but you're really getting the hang of the magic, and you're starting to understand how to share it, which is extremely important. The thing is, Dad jumps in, time is starting to run a little bit short, so we wanted to suggest that you pick up the pace a bit. Dad, pick up the pace? Wisty's a little indignant now. Good old Dad always trying to get us to be first and the fastest. You may have to do some things that don't feel right to you. Things outside of your comfort zone. Wit knows all about that, right? Wit? No pain, no gain. You'll need to be counterintuitive at times. Wisty looks troubled, but I can't help hearing Celia's voice in my head. Do you mean like turning ourselves in? I ask. Wisty shakes her head and butts in. But Mom, we've had so much pain. We've got blood and scars all over ourselves to prove it. Her voice is trembling now. You're our parents. Don't you want us to be safe? Doing important things isn't always safe, sweetie, Mom says with a pained look. It's the hardest lesson for a parent to teach or for some kids to learn, but that's what the all goods were born for. You found your gifts. Now give them away. Give them away? I exclaim. What's that mean? To who? The one? That's insane, Wisty shouts, and I'm instantly reminded of her wild ways back in school. I'm so sorry, sweetheart, but that's about all we can tell you right now, Dad says. Because it's all we know. We love you and miss you both. Our parents' faces begin to fade, and they're both smiling bravely. Don't go yet, Mom, Dad, Wisty is still shouting. Please don't go. Mrs. Highsmith shushes her. My neighbors cause me trouble enough without them complaining about somebody yelling in my kitchen, she says. But we need to talk to them some more, Wisty argues. We really do. Mrs. H is already up and back at her freaking cauldron thingy. The important thing is that your parents are safe for the moment, even if they're in a little trouble, shall we say. A little trouble? Listen, lady, I tell her, ignoring the fact that it's probably a bad idea to insult a crazy witch. We risked our lives coming here to get advice. Our parents are on death row. Our friends are trapped in a steam pipe under a war zone. The New Order has nearly completed their total occupation of the overworld, and we don't have any clues about what the One wants from Wisty or how we're supposed to win against these egomaniacal whack jobs. She stops stirring her pot and looks at us, rather amused. It's enough to drive me insane when a grown-up does that, and they do it all the time. Heavens, child, the clues are all there in front of you. You just have to look harder. And as for what the One wants with your sister, well, It's perfectly obvious what you have, my dear. That he doesn't have. It's the worst possible moment for a gale force wind to crash through the apartment window and virtually demolish the apartment and us. The one has found us. You told him we're here? Wisty shouts at the old witch. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, hold on. Gotta do something about these lippies. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody kissing them, but we can't have them drying all out like that. That's crazy. I literally don't know who's in here. There's 3 likes and it says 0 people. I stopped worrying about the just in cases. What's up, Tank? Now it's just one person. All right, so I know 3 of you are here, and that's what counts. Let's go. I don't know if Meg is still here. Probably busy, but let's go. It says 5 for you. Okay. Yeah, it says 1 for me. It's weird. Let's go, y'all. Chapter 90. Wisty. I've never felt his power as strongly as I do right now. After barely escaping flying shards of glass, Wit and I are gripping an old-fashioned radiator, holding ourselves down and out of the way of crashing furniture, cutlery, and appliances as a tornado of fury tears through the apartment. Mrs. Highsmith, on the other hand, resolutely stands her ground in the middle of the swirling maelstrom. He's mastered the air, she shouts through the din. Study his every move. Learn from this. It's been hard enough ducking flying toasters and pots with the floor steady under our feet, but now it gets 10 times harder as the ground turns into something like gelatin. It's a bona fide earthquake, courtesy of the one. The rattling and crashing and tipping furniture ratchets up the decibel level of deafening car splitting. Sorry. The rattling and crashing and tipping furniture ratchets up the decibel level to deafening, ear splitting. My head is pounding. And he's mastered the earth, Mrs. Highsmith continues, hollering her lessons over the madness. The one seems to oblige by precisely illustrating her next point, and he's mastered the water. Now it's raining inside the apartment. The room is filling with churning water, quickly making its way up to our quivering knees. There's only one thing he needs to completely secure his present and future domination, and to complete himself. His ego is huge. That's his strength and his weakness. Do you follow my drift? Then Mrs. Highsmith levitates into the air, presumably to avoid having to swim in her own kitchen, but judging from the look of terror flecked anger in her face, I realize she's not doing it under her own control. In a second, she's pretty much pinned up against the ceiling, her face twisted in profound agony. Then her eyes begin to bulge unnaturally. She's being crushed to death, isn't she? Liar, she screams implacably, and suddenly the room goes still. Show yourself! And then, as if an invisible pair of forceps has reached inside the apartment, she yanks out of a broken window and into the howling wind outside, screaming, Show yourself! The whole way. Chapter 91. Wisty. We're dead quiet, Wit and I. There's just not much to say about you witnessing something as strange and horrible as what just happened in Mrs. Highsmith's apartment. But then Wit is ever practical. Let's get out of here before the one shows himself or sends his soldiers. Too late, sort of. We don't even have a chance to get to the door before I hear an eerie and familiar song drifting in through the broken window. Notes that have forever burned themselves into my memory. The command pipe. The command pipe of Byron Swain, to be exact. I go to the window, ignoring Wit's cry of, Wisty, no, stay away from there. Down on the city of progress's unblemished sidewalk is a depressingly familiar crowd of feral freaks led by Careless Surprise, Mr. Untrustworthy himself. But you know what? I also feel a wave of relief, completely out of my control. I might add that Byron is alive. Go figure. Wit standing behind me protectively. Then he leaps to the apartment entry to start barricading the door just in case this ends in, a little reprise of our last encounter with B and his toothy, drooling friends. So, Wisty, I guess you didn't figure it all out yet. So, Wisty, I guess you didn't figure it all out yet, Byron says with little emotion. If you'd done the right thing, if you'd been listening to what we've all been telling you, I might be able to help you right now, but you didn't, so I can't. A note of anger enters his voice, and he glares at Wit, who's back by my side. So now I'm afraid I have to do what Celia told me to do. What are you talking about, Swain? Yells Wit. Don't you dare talk about Celia. When I chased you into the Shadowland, I met up with your old girlfriend. To be more precise, her people met up with my people. I remember the moment, and I know Wit does too. And I regret to inform you, lover boy, she's a lost one now. She and her new friends were about to consume us, and that means she'd eat you too. I don't even need to look at Wit to feel the energy radiating off his body. He wants to launch himself out the window at Byron. But that's impossible, he screams. What's wrong with you, Byron? I yell. You act like you care about me, and then you lie and threaten and betray me every time we meet. Lie, Wisty? Tell me one good reason why I should lie. Tell me what I have to lie for now. I have to admit, I can't answer that one. Never could. Not even when Byron was in preschool with me. Prove to me that you spoke to Celia, Wit processes. Prove it. Okay, Whitford, I can do that. Tell me, does this line sound familiar? We only have a short time together. Let's not waste it. Judging from the shade of gray my brother turns, he has heard those particular words before. Had a dream the other day, didn't you? And Celia wore a lot of perfume, right? I've seen fireplace ashes with more fresh color, flesh color than Wit has right now. And you know why she was wearing so much perfume? It's because even in the dream, she stinks like a rotting zombie, the way all lost ones stink. Wit is shaking his head in denial, or disgust, or horror, or all of the above. But you know the irony here? She's not haunting you because she loves you, or because she wants you back. No, she's after somebody else. What do you mean? Wit asked. In fact, the deal she struck with me, the reason why I was allowed to live and return here, was that she made me promise to bring her your sister. That's what this is all about, jockstrap. Chapter 92, Wit. I can't even begin to understand what Byron Swain just told me. It has to be lies. I have I have a plan for me, but in the meantime, I pick up every object within grabbing range and start hurling it out the window at him and his beasts. Books, candlesticks, cook's tools, framed pictures, you name it, I toss it outside. I have a good throwing arm, but unfortunately, the little creeper's obviously experienced at dodging projectiles. Wisty, he shouts in between ducks, please come with me. This is your last chance to accept my offer. Do what your parents have been preparing you for your whole life. In that, at that, I hurled a standing lamp at him like a spear. It hits Byron in the side and spins him around, but he doesn't go down. Then Wisty stuns me. In the quietest voice, she whispers, Mom and Dad did say that sometimes we need to do things that won't feel natural. They said outside of your comfort zone, not stupid, I yelled at Wisty. Immediately, I regret it, but it's too late. Even Byron rises out of his defensive crouch and glares at me. Did you just call your sister stupid, Wit? He shouts. No. In a sense, I told her going anywhere with you was stupid, and it is. Well, you've denigrated Wisty for the last time. Byron, Wisty calls urgently. It's fine, I swear. It's an affectionate nickname. Sayonara, Whitford Allgood, Byron says, and throws me a rigid salute. And that's when he blows a new tune on his command pipe, and the kill team re-engages in the hunt. by climbing ape style up the side of the building and crashing through what's left of the windows. Well, I guess we thought coming here to Mrs. Highsmith's would be a game changer. Looks like it is. Chapter 93. Wisty. I'm not much of a cowardly screamer, but by nature. But 2 tons of growling, pouncing ape kids swarming into a tiny apartment with one barricaded exit definitely elicits a shriek from me that is totally blood curdling. It actually startles the kill team for a split second, long enough for a pause in which Byron's pipes another series of commands up at them. Wit fairly hurls me into the corner of the room, then blocks the path to me with his body. Wit, that isn't going to work. And it sure doesn't. The fiends practically run over my poor brother, shouting in murderous glee, but they don't kill us. Hog tie Wit and me quickly, viciously, and then in walks Byron Swain. Sorry about all the safety precautions, Wisty, says Byron. He checks the rope on our arms and forces a gag into Wit's mouth, but I can't have any more distractions while I make good on my commitment here. In case you think I'm not a decent fellow, he says as he turns and forces an oily, tasting rag into my mouth. 2. He says as he turns and forces an oily, tasting rag into my mouth, too. I should point out that I'm not going to have my friends here tear Wit apart in front of you, as instructed. Instead, I'll have both of you sent along to the one. I'm guessing he'll probably want to put you on the same weight loss program as your parents. Then, as promised, on to the all good execution. He didn't really say that just now. There's no freaking way he really, yes, sir. That's going to be one majorly popular execution palooza. He goes right on talking. I warned you, Wisty. I tried to stop this. Okay, Byron, I think to myself, this is so simple. You leave me no choice. I'm just going to explode. Chapter 94. Wit. When my little sister flares up in anger, sometimes she's just a regular, run-of-the-mill human torch with fire swirling all around her body, and you would definitely be well advised not to shake her hand. Other times, though, she's so bright and hot, it's hard even to look at her, like right now. But Byron does look at her. In fact, he's totally gaga, like he's never been so impressed with her skills. Wisty's ropes and gag last all of a nanosecond as she bounds up from the ground and takes a couple of menacing swipes at Byron's freaky death squad. They wisely move back a few stuttering steps. I'm certain she could smoke their wiry butts into ash, but for some reason she doesn't. While the ape kids recoil, Byron steps closer to Wisty. He looks to be in a daze. He absently drops his command pipe as his eyes glaze over. Wisty waves her hand wildly. Get away from me, Byron. I'm as hot as 100 furnaces. Just leave now and I won't kill you. You can't hurt me, Wisty, he says. Not anymore. Then he does the unthinkable. I'm bound and gagged and can't do a thing as I watch Byron throw himself right into Wisty's flames. She tries to pull away, but then he's clutching her as if he's a child and she's here to rescue him. Wisty was right. We're not murderers. As much as I hate this kid, I can't sit still and let Byron immolate himself. Byron, what are you doing? Stop, Wisty yells. Stop, drop, and roll. You can't hurt me, Wisty, Byron repeats dreamily. Despite the crackling and hissing flames surrounding him, he must be delirious. Obviously he's being burned to death, but he's showing absolutely no signs of pain. The feral kids, confused and without any command to guide them, are starting to growl again, but Byron is oblivious. His face buried in Wisty's neck, his arms wrapped around her as he's drinking in her fire. And he's not burning. He's not burning. Chapter 95. Wit. To review, there are any number of life-threatening crises in our hands at the moment. Byron's gone loco. 2. In a few minutes, his wild feral team may go from chilling to killing. 3. Mrs. H's apartment is major fire hazard, and Wisty's humongous flames have already lit up all the curtains, the rug, the wallpaper, which is badly burned. 4. I'm still at risk of being hauled off to the one if I can't get control of the situation. I have to try to extinguish Wisty's flames somehow, but I can't control fire. I know it in my bones that's Wisty's gift. But if I focus on Mrs. H's cauldron, can I move it? It's filled with liquid after all. The pack is growing louder and louder, so I have no choice. It's an act of desperation. But I focus my mind and manage to lift Mrs. Highsmith's barrel. Then I will it to fly across the room, whatever Mrs. H was cooking. I'm not sure if it was fit for human consumption since it's as effective as foam from a fire extinguisher. Wisty's flame flickers out, and Byron, with no trace of burnt clothing, hair, or skin, drops to the floor. Wisty's dripping with gruel and rather dazed by what just happened, but still sharp enough to realize what she should do next. She unbinds me and removes my gag, all the while staring at the Abe kids, who definitely seem to respect her abilities with fire. You stay back or I'll fry you, she warns. She even throws off a few fresh sizzling flames. Then my little sister helps me up, and I realize she's a lot stronger than she looks. That was so totally messed up, she says quietly. Let's get out of here while we still can. What's up, Cue Ball? Chapter 96. Wisty. As totally screwed up as the past hour was, from my mom and dad's deeply disturbing message to battling hurricane gales to the utterly unforgettable experience of Byron Swain embracing, absorbing, breathing in my fire, I still leave the building feeling inexplicably powerful. I'm learning something about myself, even though it's not clear what it is and why the one wants it so badly. As soon as Whit and I get outside Mrs. H's building, there's an incredible windstorm, which can only mean one thing. And you know what? I'm not even that surprised anymore. He is, I hate to say, omnipresent. I whirl around to face him, as if this is a gunfight. The one is slowly walking up the abandoned street towards us. This is the grand finale, children of all good, he calls out in warning, which seems unusually fair of him. I've given that wretched informant, I've given that wretched informant more than enough chances, he continues as he calmly marches forward. I said that if he failed in his mission, he would be made to suffer by watching you die slowly and painfully by my hand. But since I'm not But since I'm nothing if not even handed, one final test. This will be a pass fail for you and your brother. Maybe the two of you survive, maybe one, probably none. Are you ready, children? He doesn't wait for an answer. Then let us begin. He stomps the ground with his foot, and an enormous crevice opens wide and starts racing down the middle of the street, heading right for us. I control the earth, he yells at the top of his lungs. True or false? Wit takes my hand and squeezes. It's amazing how much a little human touch can do. It gives me a boost I need. We could fly, I say. Worth a try. Focus now. We can do this. It's about the fastest morph I've ever done. Double morph, to be exact. And in an instant, Wit and I are aloft. Becoming hawks requires a lot more energy than changing into hummingbirds, but I'm filled with a charge and I really let loose. The rush is amazing. Usually the one's very presence is magic crushing, but right now I feel we're unbeatable as we start pumping our wings triumphantly above the sky. But it's only for about 200 yards until a wall of wind hits us. We try to catch it and ride it, but the sheer power and force sends us careening sideways and then downward. I control the wind, the air, the one bellows. True or false? Wit and I are nearly thrown into one side of a brick-faced office building. But before I have a chance to panic, I've managed to turn us into the first animal I can think of with protective armor, an armadillo. Two of them. We curl up into small armored balls and safely bounce off the wall, which is, by the way, still hurts. And then we roll down onto the street. But another Huge chasm opens in front of us, accompanied by the roar of the angry one. I control the cities and the streets. True or false? I'll give you a hint. That statement is true. The roadway suddenly explodes in the shafts of rock, metamorphosing instantly into shimmering crystal, sending razor sharp shrapnel in all directions. If Wit and I aren't off the ground in a second, we're going to be sliced into nothing. We leap harder and higher and feel not only wings but paws. We're part lion, part bird, the legendary griffin of folklore. We can transform ourselves into the stuff of imagination. There are no words. There are no words for that mind-boggling realization, but it's forgotten in an instant when the spot where we just been explodes with a thundering crack. The two buildings on either side of the street collapse. A shock wave and a blast of dust rise after us and send us spinning. It's dizzying to body and mind. Our power is pretty good, but his is unbelievably overwhelming. Why is he so powerful? Who could control nature like this? I have a terrible, terrible thought. Maybe he's God. There he is, so much larger than life, arms outstretched, eyes locked on us, dark suit impeccable. His mouth works furiously as he summons what appears to be a typhoon out of the sky, spinning towards us. The Herculean force, wind and rain pummeling our wings is too much for them to bear, and we plunge towards the water of the harbor below. Extra credit question. Extra credit question, screams the one. Who controls the water, the ocean, the rivers, the seas? Oops, time's up, pins down. I do. Chapter 7, Wit. I guess we failed his test, but we won't surrender. No way. That isn't going to happen. The force of hitting the water might have knocked us out and drowned us if Wisty and I hadn't been almost perfectly in sync. We pull off a near splashless dive and slice through the surface, but underneath, the water is churning and rushing up from the bottom of the sea. Who controls the water? Who else? The entire harbor is piling up into one enormous wave, a tsunami to end all tsunamis, and we're floundering, swimming right in the middle of it. Higher and higher it builds. I've never seen anything like it. I think it's safe to assume no one has, unless we're supposed to take the great book literally. Are we? Wisty and I can't force our way downward against the surge. It's useless even trying to swim at this point. If you can't beat it, join it, right? And so I imagine us on longboards, and it actually happens. You did that? Wisty yells as she steadies her footing on the surfboard. Yeah, I shouted. Even if we crash and drown, it'll be some kind of a ride. Wisty smiles a crazed surfer girl grin at me as the wave starts to go down, as we start to go down. Chapter 98, Wisty. In about 1.5 seconds, my very brief euphoria changes to dread. Suddenly, this massive wave is gaining height again. We're approaching shore, and we're maybe a quarter a mile in the air. The one's going to wipe out a major chunk of the city if he doesn't stop this madness right now. And that means there are hundreds, make that thousands of people in terrible danger of being drowned. Even though I figure that many of them are New Order automatons, I keep telling myself they're living, breathing human beings, and we can't let this giant wave or the one crush them. I know what I have to do, and there's no time to consult with Wit. It's what my parents were saying. Sometimes, for the good of many, you have to do something way outside your comfort zone. And this, dear reader, is way outside what I would consider even borderline sanity. Over the roar of the massive wave, I yell so loudly I think the force of the words is going to tear my throat apart. I'll give you what you want. I'll give you my gift. Just stop this insanity before the wave hits shore. Like magic, or maybe I should say it was magic. The wave starts to lower, and then we're gently coasting towards a narrow shoreline of packed sand. Standing there is none other than the one. He's smiling like a proud dad, welcoming his kids home from a long trip. What an amazing ride. Ah, to be young. I envy you, he says as the wave calmly spreads itself across the shore and we drift to a stop. I'm so pleased you've come to your senses, Wisty, says the one. Unfortunately, I have rather sad news. You fail, both of you. All of the all goods fail. It's obviously that I can't work with you, so I suppose I have to work without you. He turns so his back is facing us and raises his hand to the heavens. Take them away, he bellows. I have no further use for this witch and wizard. But there's no one's there. He's speaking to no one. And then, in a heartbeat, like a plague of locusts overtaking the land, thousands of New Order soldiers and police swarm over the crest of the hill and descend upon us. We swirl around, only to be confronted by even more hordes of soldiers standing in the water. This wall of evil is impenetrable. Finally, the one looks back at us. There is a moral to this story, he says. Of those who receive gifts, much is expected. Take that one to the Shadowland with you, witch and wizard. Epilogue. As promised, a spectacle. Chapter 99. Wisty. I know there's not many pages left in this book, so at this point we're wondering where the happy ending is. I may be pretty young, but I figured out that life doesn't get wrapped up into neat little endings like perfect little bows. I can promise you one thing though. There's hope, okay? Don't ever call me Wisteria Rose Allgood a downer. No matter what crap the one shovels upon us, I swear I'll find that single bright spot in the bitterly dark landscape and cling to it for dear life. And right now, I'm clinging to the sight of the very people who gave me dear life. My mother and father. Not ghosts, not hallucinations, but live and in the flesh, but in ropes just like me. At least Wit and I can see them and tell them how much we love them one last time before we die. But what a family reunion it's turning out to be. Look at us here, the jeering crowd around us, the jack-booted New Order lackeys shoving us forward onto the stadium stage, the ropes around our necks, the TV cameras in our faces, and in the tower, right in front of us, him, the one who is the one. He in his glory, triumph, he's won. Using the old hangman's platform as his stage just digs the knife in. Vaporization is the one's preferred method of execution. It's highly efficient, but the nooses are a bonus in our extra cruel humiliation, the morbid theater of it all. I so want to burn up with hatred for this monster who has destroyed our life and is about to kill my entire family. I want to use my anger to find my strength, to find my magic, to burn this horrible scene to ashes, to cauterize this place right off the face of this so-called world. But honestly, I'm too terrified to be angry. My courage is crumbling, my light is fading. Oh God, I don't want to die right now. I don't want my family to die. I don't want to watch them die. Dad's still wearing his game face, trying to give me and Wit courage. Mom's given up attempting to hide her emotion and is quietly crying in grief and fear. Wit, on the other hand, looks wildly angry, at least when he's not recovering from repeated blows to the back of his head. Half a dozen times now he's surged against his bonds, and half a dozen times his hooded handlers have struck him with a billy club, sending him limply to his knees until they haul him back up and he tries to find the focus and strength to surge again. The ghoulish crowd is loving every dramatic bit of this. The heartbroken mother, the stoic father, the defiant son, the quaking chicken liver daughter who they have somehow come to believe is a powerful witch, but now the one who is the one raises his long figured hands in the air and waves for them to be quiet. And now he's doing something else with his hands. A motion I know only too well. Oh God, please don't let him. A black rift opens in front of him and rips its way towards us, or at least toward two of us. And just like that, Mom and Dad have been vaporized. There's nothing left but smoke. My mother, my father, gone. Chapter 100, Wisty. Wit and I stare in paralyzed horror as a wisp of black ash lifts in the breeze and moves out across the sea of onlookers. They're stumping, fist pumping, and roaring their approval of the disgraceful murders that just took place. I'm too decimated by the grief, in shock of it, to take any joy in the fact that we are inexplicably still alive. The one didn't kill us, didn't kill us. It makes no sense. And then it gets even stranger, even more surreal, like a dream. The scene is suddenly awash with painfully blinding light, but it's a chilling light, if there is such a thing, like a powerful tsunami of sun blasting over a landscape of ice. Maybe I'm dead after all. Maybe this is that celebrated light at the end of the tunnel, or is it the end of days? When the light ebbs, I see that the one who is the one is on his knees, screaming. Only for some reason I can't hear him. In fact, I can't hear anything. Was there an explosion? I don't know. But suddenly, there are hands all over me, cold hands. They're loosening my ropes. A small army of hooded figures has banded around me in wit. The New Order guards lining the stage have been toppled by a rush of flooding light and energy. No sooner have the hooded figures pulled the nooses up over our heads than the hangman's trapdoors on which we've been standing click open and I'm falling into darkness. It's as if I've been hanged, but I haven't been, have I? I've just fallen onto my back. I'm sprawled on the ground with all the spirit and decorum of a discarded rag doll. I don't care to move. I don't even care to breathe. I just want this all to end. I want to close my eyes and stop being. I pray for it to happen. There's another cold hand on my arm helping me to my feet, and now my ears are starting to ring, and I hear something else too, a voice, a familiar voice. Run, the voice says as the door opens and daylight streams in. Run, Wisteria, run like there's no tomorrow, because if you don't, maybe there won't be. My hearing returns as the sound of massive panic sweeping through the stands hits me. The shrieks and wails seem to have enough power to bring down the entire stadium. What have they seen? What has happened to their fearless leader? I stagger outside, enjoying the frantic crowd in the stadium field streaming toward one of the four tunnel exits. I have done this before, escaped the scene of my own execution. It seems impossible, but I know I can do this. I know how to keep my head down. I know how to duck and weave. I know how to stay focused in a sea of blind panic, but I haven't gone 50 yards when I stop dead, as if my heart has fallen from my chest. Wit, where is Wit? I turn and manage to glimpse the plywood hangman's scaffold. Four empty nooses dangle limply in the breeze. The one is nowhere to be seen, neither is Wit. I haven't even cried for my parents yet, but now I fall to my knees and start to bawl like a baby. In an ocean of thousands, I'm alone, but not completely. Again, there's a hand on my arm and a voice in my ear. Run, Wisteria, it says. Hurry, you have to leave this cursed place. But this time I resist. I get to my feet, but I'm pushed back towards the scaffold, toward the last place I saw my brother. I make it only a few steps when somebody or something knocks me to the ground. Whitford's fine, it says, pulling me back to my feet and turning me around. Think about it. You can be together now. It would make it easier on them if you were together. We can't risk it. The voice has been rational, if insistent, but now it sounds truly urgent. There's no time, Wisty. For wit's sake, run, run. You have the gift. Only you have it. Without you, hope will die. And I have to run, don't I? I have to to try to escape. My life matters. My gift matters. So I run. I run as if my brother's life depends on it. As I look back, I finally see the face of the one who rescued me. It's Celia. Celia. There she is, the one bright spot in the bitterly dark landscape. I told you I would find it. I told you I would cling to that light for dear life, and I am. I'll use it to find wit, to find my friends, and to make my way to the Shadowland to find my parents because of bad, scary witches who are given great gifts. Much is expected to be continued. Oh my. And that was the end of The Gift. What are y'all talking about? Jackie, are you home? Are you okay? I noticed you said you're not feeling the best, but you're happy to be home. Gonna send you this love and this energy that I got in abundance. I'm always radiating it to you all. My fam who rock with me no matter where I am. ah, that was pretty corny, huh? I know, but I couldn't resist. It had to be done. I want to see something, y'all. Give me a sec here. Hold on. Hold on to your love. Okay, so. Oh, wow. App update available. Okay, I got to update the app. So I was thinking. So what do we got here? Thank you so much, Will. Oh, look at Will being all accurate. I got to scroll up because I don't know what that's about. I'm just trying to read what y'all talking about. I would love to have an emoji only alphabet. It would be awesome. That would be awesome. You do know if it's an emojis, it won't be an alphabet. It'll be a hieroglyph. Keep in mind, we have emojis. But here's the funny things about human beings, y'all. And I gotta say this. I got to say this. Do you want to know why we having a problem with communication? Uh-oh, that would creep me out. Don't touch me, right? I hated the hands in the labyrinth. Oh, I remember that. Haunted houses when they reach for you. Haunted houses make me laugh, yo. I've never been scared in a haunted house like ever. Like ever. I've never been scared in a haunted house. Haunted houses are silly to me. I just laugh. But actually, I stopped being jumpy and scared of things a long time ago. Like I was never a jumpy person. Oh, they was making fun of you, Will. Don't take it, Will, but do take it at the same time. Y'all, let me tell you how goofy human beings are. Okay, so we have literally created basically hieroglyphs again, but we call them emojis, right? But what I noticed is people don't use the emojis for what they mean. They use them for whatever they want. Have y'all noticed that? I'll tell someone like someone I'll send someone something and they'll send me the crying like crying a lot emoji. And I'll be like, why are you crying? Oh, oh no, I thought it was funny. I was laughing. There's literally a crying tears emoji, y'all. Like, why are you picking the one that's literally was created for sadness, like crying, crying, crying. But we just do what we want, man. That's why if we did have hieroglyphs again or runes, man, we're already shit with the exact words spelled out the exact way they're supposed to be. We still don't want to understand what people saying. We still want to misconstrue or say this is what this word means to me, and this is what this word means to me. We do it all the damn time, and but that's what it means to me. Man, can you imagine if we were using hieroglyphs and runes? Oh my god, we would be ridiculously stupid. Horror movies don't even phase me. Haunted houses don't scare me. I just don't like being touched if I don't know you. Yes, exactly. I don't like being. I mean, I don't really care. It doesn't phase me that much. Um, unless I can sense some type of ill intent, I don't really give a damn. But I do understand that a lot of people don't like to be touched. It doesn't bother me, but I do understand why people don't. I lost my ish in one of those big old houses no one lived in. I've been in so many abandoned buildings and houses, y'all. It doesn't phase me in the least. I guess today was our field trip day. Were you taken by the magic school bus with the lights and sirens too? Huh? I'm confused. I don't know what that means, Mika. Help me out. Help me understand what you're talking about. The Niagara Falls emoji. Ooh. Horror movies, I don't love I don't love them or hate them. For the most part, horror movies for me are too predictable. Like all movies actually are just way too predictable. But horror movies are egregiously predictable. Like they are blatantly predictable, especially the ones made in the USA. USA horror movies got to be the most predictable movies you will ever see in your life. Oh, and Marvel movies. Nothing is more predictable than those two things. You can't tell me what rune to use. Exactly. That's right, y'all. Don't you dare go using runes, hieroglyphs, and emojis for what they mean. You make up whatever you want. Okay? And then when no one understands a dang thing you're saying, you be upset at them. You go do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. You know what I realized today? You know those people that do the lives? Do you know that most of them do it all day long? Did you know that? Did you know that the people who do the debate lives on TikTok, they do it all day long. If they do it in the morning, they do it in the afternoon, and they do it at night. And they're literally talking about the same things every day, all day long. They are voicing the same arguments at people who are saying the same things to them every day in every life they're in. And some people do it all day and all night. Like they're jumping on other people's lives all night and all day. Have y'all noticed that? You would think it would get old, Carrie, but they're still doing it. What's up? How you doing? Welcome back to the room, man. Hey. I'm telling you. Okay, so I've barely been on TikTok. Y'all know that, right? Like I've barely been on TikTok. Y'all know that, right? Like I get on it during the morning to kind of support Jones's live. I try to catch some posts and stuff, and then I get right to doing what I'm doing. Even in the morning when I look at Jones's live, like I'm still not on it the whole time. Like the other day, Wednesday, he had to go to the dentist, right? Was that Wednesday? Tuesday? Whatever day it was, he had to go to the dentist. Was that yesterday or the day before? Whatever fucking day it was. It was Wednesday. And so I held the live down, right? But there was like 900 something people in there. When he went to the dentist and it dropped all the way down like to 137, right? When he came back, it went all the way back up to like 1,000 or something like that, right? I was like, that's wild. But the whole time there were other people arguing with each other, and I was working on the bags, like I was sewing. I was sewing like the whole time. Say yeah, yeah, yeah. Say yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, I don't know how. I would get bored fast. I get bored in most of those lives quick. That there is a left down Nope Street to block and Nope Avenue. Can't argue that same ish all day. Exactly, right? I mean, they just be going. You know, when people say that, okay, who's been coming to the Vibe Room for a very long time, with the exception of Jackie. Jackie, right? Jackie, you've been coming to the Vibe Room for, shoot, what, over a year and a half now, right? Maybe a year. I'm thinking a year and a half. And Jackie can vouch for this, yo. And I think some of y'all can vouch for this too. How many people have you seen come through my live and talk about how they can't stand that? Oh no, they don't want that drama in their life. They don't like that. Blah 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 blah. Like, how many people have you seen? Right? You still a newbie since July 23? Yes, yes. So nearly going on a year, right? So, but like, when I tell you the turnover that I saw in the Vibe Room, I have seen hundreds, and I'm not talking one or 200. In truth, I've seen thousands of people come into the live, get in there, talk about how much they love the space. Oh, this is so peaceful. This is the best. They don't like no drama. They can't stand all that. And I see them same people to this day. Like, if I'm scrolling through and I see someone's live and maybe they're making a point that I want to hear for a second, right? So I'll go in. I know it's probably going to turn into some argument and shit, but I just want to hear this one point to see if the person is on point. And I'll see people that was in my live a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, talking about how they don't like none of that stuff. They like the peace and calm and all other shit. And I've seen them so many times in spaces like that. I've seen them. I've seen people leave my space to then go open arguing spaces. I've seen people in the Vibe Room talk about how much they love it. It's so calming and all this other shit. And as soon as I close it out, they go straight to a space where people are arguing, yelling, and fighting, and there's all this drama and ugliness and stupidity and all this other shit. As soon as I close it out, I'm like, listen, that's your prerogative. Do your thing, you know? But I'm going to tell you the one thing. Hey, ooh, look at you changing your icon with your gorgeous self. I've only been here since you closed HTT. There's a lot of people I don't see anymore. Exactly. People come through and poof, they gone. Good to see you, thee. That's probably a typo, but I'm going to get it right. And I think it's funny, right? Because I'm going to tell y'all what got me emotionally and mentally worn out. Okay? Are y'all ready for this? Are you ready for this? Keep in mind, we're not going to go dark or heavy or anything like that. Like, I'm not in a bad mood or anything. I'm just emotionally and mentally worn out with particular things. Y'all ready? Are you ready? Human beings with their fake positivity bullshit. I'm tired of it. I've met my limit. I don't want to fucking hear it anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. It's ridiculous. Because we just keep proving We keep proving our entertainment, reality TV shows alone, reality TV shows alone, the fact that we had tabloid papers telling absolute lies were the main, like, at eye level for adults in every freaking store when I was a child and a teenager. Tabloids, absolute lies. And the people who own them tabloids are billionaires. Their families still have billions today. We got people who get on the internet and create tabloid websites and lie their ass off. And they get a huge following. They get on social media. They do the same. They get a huge following. You can lie your teeth off in the post. As long as it's full of a bunch of drama, people will love it. It's that simple. I guarantee you, because I've been thinking, listen, let me tell you, for like a year, I've been wanting to do an experiment. For a year, I've been wanting to get on TikTok. I've been wanting to post an absolute bullshit, fantastical man, woman, women versus man, full of drama story that never fucking happened, just to see what happens. I'm not gonna do it because I'm not a gigantic liar. It's one thing to write a book and write a story. It's another thing to get on and portray yourself as something you're not. But man, I kind of want to do it because I just want to see what the fuck happens. I bet you it'll be those videos talking about that will get more likes than anything I've ever posted. I bet money. Bat Boy was a fave of mine for some reason. Bat Boy? The lie about people passing away too. Yo, lying about famous people dying, bruh. That's wacky, dude. They lie about things that black actors and actresses and famous people say just so they can continue racism. Just think about that, Joe. Just think about that. They make up entire quotes that black famous people never said to look at other black people and go, see, you should be happy to be subjugated and marginalized and oppressed. And you should just be like, can't we all just get along while we put our foot on your neck? Like, we live in a world where the same people asking why we can't, the same people that are happy to see me and my people and brown skinned people and all the other stuff lower. They want to keep us lower. They're happy to let a few of us be famous and be rich, but they want to make sure that we never gain actual wealth. They want to make sure those famous and rich people don't spread that wealth to the community. We live in a world where my people are seen as less than human all over the fucking planet. While and at the same time, the people who are thinking that about my people are looking at me asking why can't we all just get along? No. The fuck I'm supposed to get along with you when I know that you think I'm less than human? The fuck I'm supposed to get along with you? And then when I'm like, uh, can you take your boot off my neck first? Oh, look at you. But can't we just get along? Can somebody else come over here and put the boot on not only his neck, but his parents as well? Like, oh wait, his parents is okay. His parents will just get along people. Okay. All right. We can ignore them then. Women, come on, y'all. What kills listen, it really hurts my soul when I see the Candace Owenses of the world and all the other stuff. Well, let me take that back. It disgusts me. It doesn't hurt my soul. I don't expect anything from humans or humanity. I really don't. I don't expect humans to be good. I don't expect humanity to be wonderful. I never have. I never will. I'm sure at some point when I was a child, I thought that way, but I don't remember that time in my life because I don't remember much before the age of 9. My first great memory is me drawing characters for a story that was in my head. My second great memory is me accidentally finding a James Baldwin book at the age of 9 years old. So those are my first two like vivid memories. Everything else, I don't even remember because come to find out, I was a miserably unhappy child. Isn't that great? Huh? Isn't that wonderful? Well, that's the thing about it, Carrie. Whether it's right or wrong, whether it's right doesn't even apply. The simple fact is, this is what human beings created. There's also places where human beings are actually genuinely happy. They understand the planet, know how to live with it, and all that other stuff. There are still people out there that live like that. And there's human beings, the vast majority, the majority of humanity around the world is striving for the modern life dream. And this is what we've created. And it's always been here. There's always been separation, fear because somebody looks different, which you would think. Now, hold on, y'all. You would think, and let me ask you this question, right? Because I was thinking about this today. I was thinking about this today, y'all. Hold on. I was thinking about this today, y'all. I got to put this one out there. Human beings talk about how intelligent they are, right? We're the smartest creature on the planet. And we are. Let's all be honest. There's no other creature. Well, actually, the octopus is actually smarter than us. But the octopus's lifespan is so short that they never hand down um, generational information. So they've never had the chance to develop those 9 brains that they have beyond the point of what they're doing. Okay, octopus octopuses pretty much die right after they seed the mama. The mama lays the eggs, and she spends the rest of her life protecting the eggs from getting eaten. But she can't go leave and eat because eels and all types of other things would come and eat the eggs, like they would be gone. So at some point in evolution, they understood that they can't leave their eggs because there's too many predators that will eat them. So they just stay there and protect their eggs, and by the time their eggs start hatching, they're starving to death and they die. That is why octopuses do not have not evolved past where they're at. Did you know that? Octopus actually have quite a short lifespan, y'all. But it's not a lifespan in the aspect that they die of old age. The males die after going, and the females die while watching their eggs. Ain't that some shit? Evolution is a bitch. I'm just saying, if you do believe in creation, um, can you ask why why God would create a creature that has that type of life? Because that's fucked up, right? But it's all good though. So the two smartest creatures on the planet are humans and octopus, but one has the ability to hand down generational knowledge, and the other does. And the one has evolved in a state where they do not do that. But here's the thing, right? Let's talk about the humans for a sec. For all this logic we have, for all of this handing down of knowledge that we're able to do, why are we still dealing with hate, separatism, division, and all this other stuff? Oh, shoot. All the moths. Listen, moths, butterflies, all of them. Like, come on. There's so many bugs. Look at the fruit fly. Gnats have like a lifespan of hours. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, they're like little crawly things. Then they go poop, and they have just enough time to go find each other and be like, "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh," and then dead. Praying mantis. Listen, I'm gonna bite your head off and use you for food because you just impregnated me. But the list goes on and on and on and on. and on. And that's what I'm saying. For creatures that are supposed to be so intelligent and so logical, how many things do we actually do with logic? Let's be honest. Let's all be honest. How much do we use our logic over our feelings? Let's be honest, y'all. If we used our logic over our feelings, do you know how much further we would be? Do you know how much further we would be? Business was even built through greed. It wasn't built through logic. It was built from greed. If we had logic, business would not exist the way that it exists now. Because having logic of what's going on would also give you, you wouldn't even need the grandest empathy in the world to realize that making sure that everybody in the populace is fed well and taken care of would guarantee so much more prosperity for everybody. Logic tells us that. Basic logic tells us that. But greed has overpowered logic in every way, shape, or form. So then we turn around and we use our logical abilities, our ability to process information to do what? When I tell people we have all types of logic, but we use our logic the way we want. We logically figure out ways to oppress others. We logically figure out ways to have more than others. We logically figure out ways to hurt others. We can use our logic. We treat logic like it is an inherent good. It is not. Logic does not equal good or bad. Logic is a process. That's it. It's a thought process. That's it. So when people are doing horrible shit, they are choosing to do so. Logic is more than a tool. Logic is more than a tool. Logic goes beyond the tool because logic is a part of us. And I know we use, and I know it is a tool. I know it is. But for me, it's beyond a tool. When we talk about calling our emotions and our abilities tools, um, it's funny how personal we make them, but how we use the word tools like it's something we bought at the same time. You know what I mean? I know they're tools for us to use, but they are a part of us, and they are fashioned in, and they are fashioned by our experiences. They are fashioned by all these other things. A hammer I can buy at a store, and yes, I can use it to build. I can use it to fix. I can use it and I can also use it to hurt someone. However, I bought it at the store. Does that make sense? Because in life, everything's a tool. This microphone's a tool. This glass is a tool. Like all objects, and even we can say that every thought process and every emotion is a tool. We can always say that. But for me, when we say that, we're taking away the power of those tools. It's one of the things we kind of do. We try to simplify things to we let me rephrase. We think we're simplifying something when a lot of times we're actually taking away from it. Does that make sense? Or we're removing it from removing it from our own humanity, removing it from the living life, energy, and everything that is also a part of it. Logic is a part of life, energy, the way we move, everything, right? Whereas a hammer, I can just put that shit down when I don't need it. But my logic is always going to be working one way or another. And my logic can be totally skewed. It can be skewed towards my own gain. People will use their logic to stay misogynistic. Oh, they're not using logic. Yes, they are. They're just using it because of their emotions, because they want things to be a certain way. So their emotions move and use their logic to basically fortify their bullshit. Does that make sense? Feelings are feelings. They are important because we make choices and move based on exactly. But yet, when we talk about moving through life, we try, like when you listen to some of these speakers and these people and all other stuff, they're up there speaking with feeling. Have you ever seen this? And it was always funny to me. You'll see you'll see the motivational speakers, right? And they're up there and they're like, "How do you feel today? You might be down. You might be worried about yourself financially, but you chose to come here. Something in your mind, in your soul, in your heart made you feel like this is the right place to be." Right? And they'll do all that. They'll talk about your feelings, your emotions, and all that, and da da da. And then they'll turn around and go, "Life doesn't care about your feelings." The fuck are you talking about? My feelings are a part of my life. Shut your ass up, stupid ass. And people be like, "Clap," and I'm sitting there like, dude, just appealed to your emotions and feelings for fucking 25 minutes, and then he told you your feelings don't matter, and he's using your feelings and emotions in hopes that you'll buy their book or their course, to then tell you that your feelings don't matter, only their course or their book matters. And the people are like, "Uh-huh, that's right." That's like black and brown folk, because we gonna give you your accolades even if we don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and you done touched our feelings. We just gonna be like, "Woo!" It's like throwing out an amen. And then you got the people who are just rigid and they're like, "Oh, this this woman is amazing. Oh my gosh, bruh, those are your feelings, you moron." Like, you're sitting there all in your feelings, and then you say the person is amazing because they tell you your feelings don't fucking matter. The world doesn't care about your feelings. And they're using your feelings to motivate you to purchase their course. I'm just saying, y'all. Kind of makes me giggle. That's all I'm saying. Can I get an ahem? Can I get an ahem? Yes. Ooh, ooh. Y'all, guess what I did? I was really, really stupid. And I regretted it quickly. I gotta tell y'all this. I told y'all I was gonna tell y'all a story about something that happened, and y'all probably ain't gonna believe me. Well, you'll probably believe me, but I gotta tell y'all. Guess what I did, y'all? And it was really, really dumb, and I regretted it. Like, I did. Okay, I regretted it. It took like a couple days, and I was like, "Nah, this ain't for me." Right? Keep in mind, I wasn't paying much attention, but it was like, "Yeah, this ain't for me." Right? I don't know why the fuck I did this, yo. Well, I know why I did it. I've spent 49 years of my life most of the time feeling very alone. I'm not blaming it on anybody else. I know I'm an acquired taste. Okay. I don't know. Cue ball, I don't know, fam. How do we spell can I get an ahem? I think you hit it. I think it's HEM, right? It's AH and then dash HEM. Ahem. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've lived all over the world, so I picked up a lot of pronunciations from a lot of languages. So if you hear me rolling R's or making sounds and things like I said, like that. Just don't be surprised by me doing all that. Okay, it happens. Okay, I have tried to learn so many languages, but I can only like I only really learned 9, and then I didn't use them, so I only have 2 left. So there's that. But y'all, let me tell you what happened. Right, so I've been a lonely bugger most of my life. Right, even around a lot of people, I tend to feel lonely. It wasn't that the people were bad or all that. It's just that it tends to be hard for me to relate a lot of times. So I'm talking about me. It's on me. It's not on anybody else. This is all my fault. Blame it on me. Tremaine Bone, whatever name you want to use. Me. Okay? I prefer Bone. Don't call me Tremaine unless I tell you you can. Okay, don't do that. So, I actually don't like any of my government names at all, but that's a whole nother story. So, yeah, I've been like definitely lonely, right? All I do all day is spend time by myself working on stuff. When I go out, it's Pittsburgh. Man, people are the same as they were when I was growing up here. Is the reason why I want to leave. It's such an impersonal place. Everything is so surface level. It's so fake. People will talk to you at one moment and then act like you don't exist another moment. It's Pittsburgh is a weird place. I don't like it, and I don't like it because of the people. It's just a place. Does it have buildings and all that other stuff? Could it be hype? Could things really be popping here? Of course. But that takes people, not a location. Oh, Will's phone died? Will, cue ball. So, I was chopping it up with a buddy in he's still in Okinawa, like acquaintance or anything. I don't really hear from him a lot. We got the same last name or whatever, no relation. And he's a quirky dude. Like he's one of these people who says the most randomly goofy shit to you and tries, those people who you're just having a simple conversation, you say one thing and they try to tell you who you are as a person, despite the fact that you didn't really say anything that could tell them where they could diagnose who the fuck you are as a person. You know what I mean? He's one of those people, right? He's one of those people you got to be like, yeah, yeah, don't do that, right? So we don't talk often because I'm always making him feel dumb, but I don't try to. He just says and does dumb shit. That's on him, right? Not me. So in talking with him, he was like, "Man, what's going on in the U.S., man? I know you got the ladies going crazy." I said, "I ain't got nobody going crazy." He's like, "Oh, come on, man. I remember, man. I remember." And I'm thinking like, we didn't hang out like that. You just found me on Facebook. I saw you around back in the day, way back in the day. You found me on Facebook and friended me and decided that you was gonna contact me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? But that was the perception. That's a perception that people have about me all the time. It is so far from that. It's stupid. Have I had my fun? Yes. Have I told my stories? Yes. Um, do I have women crawling all over me and shit? No. I don't fucking actually I do know people who have had that. I have seen people like that. I am not one of them. For the most part, like I said, I am an acquired taste. People think I'm great when they first meet me. Then after a while, I just become too much for them. Whatever that fucking means. I don't know, but that's what they tell me. Or that's how they act, or they slowly disappear, or whatever. Like a lot of people tell me they feel like they can't keep secrets around me because I know too much, and I'm like, how the fuck can I not know? You clearly show me who the fuck you are all the time. Like hello, but it is what it is. So I'm chopping it up with him, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I finally met somebody." I said, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Yeah, like a year ago." Keep in mind, I haven't talked to this dude in like 3 years. This was about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. He's like, "I haven't talked to nobody." Da 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 da. I said, "Okay." I said, "So you met someone?" He goes, "Yeah, man, yeah." I said, "That's dope." I said, "Big up, man. I guess you're the one who has all the ladies running after you." "Oh no, man. I met her online." I said, "Oh, okay, that's cool." He's like, "Huh?" I said, "That's dope." He was like, "Oh, you oh, okay." I said, "Well, did you think I was gonna clown you or some shit?" I said, "Whoever, however you meet him is however you meet him. I don't care." He's like, "Man, you gotta try it, bruh. Like you said, like Pittsburgh's just not the place for you. Maybe you just, because you're not really going out, you're not really seeing people, there might be somebody there dope, at least to kick it with. I said, I have thought about that. Yes, it would be nice to have someone to at least kick it with, go out to eat with, maybe have a little fun with, Don't have to be too serious because at some point I'm getting the fuck out of this city. He was like, yeah, man. He was like, so I was thinking the same thing, right? So I jumped on dating. Keep in mind, he was calling me through Facebook Messenger. I said, okay, I got that. You was on a dating app. He's like, nah, dating right here. I said, you mean like back in the day when people was just randomly sending each other messages on Facebook? I said, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm not doing that. He goes, nah, man, Facebook has dating now. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not surprised. He's like, yeah, you should try it, man. You can pick whether you want a short relationship, whether you just want to kick it. You can do all that, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, why the fuck not? All I do is sit in the house, right? All I do is work on projects and go buy food and shit. So why not, right? Fuck it, I wouldn't mind having a little bit of bedtime and or sitting across a table at a coffee shop having some dope convo. And you never know, right? I'm like, whatever, maybe, you know. Everybody in Pittsburgh can't be vapid and empty souls, lying to themselves 24 hours a day about their joy while they go through life in total misery, going to the same two or three places all the time, looking at the same eight people all the time, never letting anybody into their circle while fakely smiling in your face and lying to you about wanting to hang out and do all this other shit that they have no intention of ever fucking doing because it's fucking Pittsburgh people. So I was all like, fuck it, why not? Whatever. What's the worst that can happen? You don't link up with nobody, you don't. You ain't linking up with nobody now, so whatever, right? Plus, I'm tired of the dragon yelling at me. He's like, sir, I have not dipped in any joy for 5 years. You must bring me some poontang. And I'm like, calm down, dragon. He's like, fire. Okay, that don't sound right because that sounds like he has a VD or something. So let's take that back, right? I can't stand it. It's so vapid, y'all. And listen, I'm telling you, I have been other places where the populace is the same. Pittsburgh is not the only place I've been where people are so fake. It's ridiculous. You want to know one of the places I've been that is so fucking phony, where people are so fake, it is disgusting. Medellin. Medellin, Colombia is one of the fakest places I've ever been in my fucking existence. Everybody there is putting on an act, just like everybody here is putting on an act. It is disgusting, right? So Dragon's been fussing at me for near on, 2 years now. I've done 3 years before, but I've never done 5. 3 years, whatever. But he was like, it has been too long, sir. What the hell? And I was like, I know, I wouldn't mind some physical action with somebody. I don't care, right? I'm not looking for love, but maybe there's some freaky dickies out there. There's freaky dickies everywhere. Even in places like this, there's freaky dickies. I thought. Then I remembered where I was very quickly. So I said, fuck it, why not? I look and I realize, I look on the phone and then I go to my account because that's normally where you can find shit. And I'm like, all right, let's do the thing, right? So I'm like, bet. I hit the little tab and it opens up. And it's like, welcome to Facebook dating, bitch. I'm like, what's up, ma? What's going on, ma? And they're like, put your info in. I was like, all right, bap, 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 bap. What you looking for? Are you a man or a woman? Punk ass, I've been on Facebook this long. I know y'all have all my information. Stop your lying. All this shit could be filled out already. Y'all been spying on us for years. I should just be able to hit the tab and it just goes. Come on now. So I was like, a dude, straight as hell, women, fun times only. It's an option. It's an option. I'm paraphrasing. Fun times only. There you go, right? All the spying you done did on all of us, all the information I done dropped on here, and you trying to tell me you don't already know what's up. Okay, I do get it because I don't share like my boom boom personal life and stuff on Facebook like other people do. So yeah, it wouldn't have no info like that. They wouldn't. They wouldn't. That's true. But at least all the other stuff. right? But you know, they already had my birthday. They already had all that shit, yada yada yada. And Facebook dating is a thing like you can only use the name on your profile, and it's not gonna allow you to make any other names. It uses your profile, and then you got to fill out the thing. So I fill out the little questions. I'm like, we'll see what happens, right? And so then it goes to the part because for some, you know, like what's it, Tinder? Tinder has basically made it so that every dating app is about swiping right or left. Every last one. You're either swiping right or you're swiping left. That's it. Swipe right, swipe left, swipe right, swipe left, right? You know, but and I'm like, you know, I'm a considerate swiper. I haven't been on dating apps much. I was only on Tinder for like 2 days. I told y'all the story why, but I'm a considerate swiper. I read your stuff. Okay? I see your pic. I'm like, damn. And I read the stuff. But here's the problem, y'all. There was no damn moments. There was two. Like, oh shit, okay. Then another one was like, all right, she looked good. I mean, you know, we'll see what happens. And they had um uh like short relate, you know, like they weren't looking for long term or anything, you know, like that, right? So I'm like, cool. But when I tell you, there was so much left swiping, y'all. I thought I was going to get my thumb wasn't going to move this way no more. It was like when I tell you, you will know if you grew up in Pittsburgh, you will know you will know Pittsburgh people just by fucking looking at the way. And I'm not saying everybody looks the same, but there's this energy, there's this lack of personal. Okay, so I'm not a trend person, right? I'm not a fad person or anything like that. I personally think style comes from yourself. Whatever you like is whatever you like. How you wear it, your confidence. When I tell you 90 fucking 9% of people in Pittsburgh all dress the same fucking way. And every last person had a black and gold jersey of some kind in one of their pictures. And you know that there's a lot of people who just say they repping the sports teams they're in the city. And then you have your real diehard people too, you know what I'm saying? There's no listen, I have been on Tinder for 2 days. And then I had another app when I was in Japan, but that was like it was a meet people app. Like you could meet anybody. It was and they would only show you people who were close to you within a certain region who had like interests, and it was meant you couldn't choose man or woman or any of that. You know, if you happen to meet someone and y'all were like, "Whoa," that's one thing. But those are the only two apps I've ever been on or sites of any kind. This was my first time trying another one. Okay, so and the other one wasn't really a dating app, right? So I'm just like, why does everybody just feel the same? And then everybody is Christian or they choose liberal. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. There aren't too many things that turn me off more than liberal. Anyone who says they're a liberal, I just want to get away from you. Liberals are liberals in the United States are basically moderates who just want to accept every like they say they want to accept everything, but they're actually lying through their fucking teeth. So there's that. I got asked if I'm from some. Yo, I always get asked if I'm from somewhere else. When I when I'm if I go out, people always ask me where I'm from. When I was younger, when I was a teenager, and I would be out like at the under 21 clubs and stuff, people would ask me where I was from because they couldn't believe I was from Pittsburgh. That's that's how Pittsburgh is. Pittsburgh people and if you come into Pittsburgh, like for Pitt University or Carnegie Mellon or whatever, do you know how many of them students never leave? Do you tell them I get it from my mama, from my hood? I look fly. I look. Oh my, we went down to 5 people. Oh God, I done sucked all the interest out of the room. People was like, "This shit's boring." Bye, and they just left. But okay, let's get to it. Okay, enough talking about Pittsburgh shit. So I get on there and I swipe on 2 people. Right, I swipe on 2 people. Um, and they swipe on me too. Like the next day. I didn't swipe on nobody else. It was all left, 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 left. Then I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing this no more. And I put the phone down and I didn't think nothing of it. So the first person to contact me, um, she asked me if I'm really atheist. And it was right there. It was like right there on my profile. Otherwise, you wouldn't be fucking asking me, right? I says yes. And then I never heard from her again, which is fine with me. Like, it was right there. You saw it on my profile. Like, what's going on in the USA, y'all? Are people just lying about everything so that you swiped right on me? You saw what my profile said, and then you swipe right, knowing that you don't want to, knowing that you're a believer. You didn't. Now, keep in mind, this person did not put their. They put that they're spiritual, okay, which is always bullshit. But they put that they're spiritual, and I was like, okay, so you want to believe in some type of deity because that's what you were raised up to believe. I got it. But you don't like it. You don't really agree with it. You don't believe it, but you just want to believe that there's a higher power than you because you can't believe in yourself. That's what spiritual is when people put spiritual. They're pretty much telling you they can't believe in themselves, right? But I saw spiritual, and most of the time I see spiritual, they don't believe in shit. So I was like, whatever, boom. And plus, she said she's here for a good time, not a long time. That's literally what she typed. I'm here for a good time and a long time. I'm like, shit, that's what I'm talking about. Shoop, right? What do you care? What do you care if I'm an atheist? If you just want to get D down and I want to get Pete, poom poom down, who gives a shit? Give a fuck. I'm not going to lay there talking about religion with you afterward. And I'm sure as hell not going to roll up to you talking about, I love your spirituality. It's not going to happen, right? And she was a good looking woman, sister gal. And so, like, right after I said yes, she just didn't say anything anymore. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I unmatched with her and I just deleted it and I left it at that. Then the other person that I matched with, she sends me a message. I messaged her back. I said, look, if you really want to link up, let's link up. Let's talk, whatever. Just let me know when you got time. And she was like, I can't this week because I got my kids this week. But me and my ex, we alternate, and he'll have my kids next week, and then we can hang out. I'm like, cool, right? So I just give her my number. And then after that, like, I knew I wasn't going to find nobody to really link up with on that stupid thing. So, we had a conversation. I was driving down. This is our first conversation. I was driving down to the roller skating rink on Sunday, right? Where I was highly disappointed yet again, which, keep in mind, is you can tell how desperate I am to have some type of fucking fun because I went to the same roller skating rink on Saturday, and it was highly disappointing. But they told me that it was supposed to be better because it's for adults on Sunday, which is backwards as fuck. The teen night was Saturday night, and the adult night was Sunday evening tonight. But flip that around, bruh. Flip that around. And so yeah. Now keep in mind, I looked all over the place for something to do, and there's nothing for adults to do here on the weekend except go to bars, and sit and drink and look at each other. No fucking thank you. I'm good. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to church with you. I mean, I might make you say, but we ain't going to church. You know what I'm saying? So we had this conversation. She called me while I was in a ride rolling down. So we talked. It was an okay convo. You know, she was cool, I guess. I didn't really think anything of it. She didn't really say anything exciting. Come to find out, like, she's just been in Pittsburgh her whole existence. You know what I mean? It is what it is. She was kind of being flirty, so I was being flirty back. Good looking woman. Same age as me, 49, 49. I'm like, oh, dope. Okay, cool. I said, so I'm gonna go in the skating rink now. Said you're free next week because you got your kiddos. I said, what's a good day for you? We can link up. We can, maybe go hang out and then hang out. And she giggles a little bit. And she was like, oh, what about Thursday? I'm like, the fuck? Like, he, he picks the kids up on Sunday. But, I said, all right, I'm down with that. That's cool. I said, we'll holler at each other between in and out. She's like, all right. So I do the skating thing. I roll out. I go back, get in the car, go back to the crib, do my thing. So uh Monday, she gives me a message, right? She sends a message, obligatory, what's up type of thing. I say what's up back, ask how the day is, da 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 da. And tell her I said, hey, it was, cool convo, it was nice talking to you, booty booty boo. I ask her what's up, how's her day going, yada yada yada. Hit me. I mean, tell me, holla. Nothing, like nothing. When I say nothing, I mean absolutely nothing. No, let me get that wrong. Let me get that right. Let me get this right. She was picking up her kids on Sunday when we were on the phone, so it wasn't going to be till the next week, not that Thursday that week, but the week after. We didn't actually decide that till later though. So yeah, don't let me get the story wrong. That's how like empty it kind of was. The whole thing was so empty, y'all, was ridiculous. So we had that convo. She picked up her kids or whatever. I wasn't gonna bother her. She sounded like, if she's got her kids with her, like that's it. So I just was like, hey, it's cool. Not gonna bother her too much. But she dropped me a message on Monday. I dropped her a message back. She asked me how my day was and all this other stuff. It was like around 1 o'clock in the afternoon or so. I replied, I answered, asked her the same, nothing. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. So I just chalked it up to, okay, she probably don't want to gab, no big deal, right? I left it alone. I went and I removed myself from the Facebook dating because I wasn't going to be back on there anyway. And I was like, I'm good. I don't need, you know what? I was right. I was right to just leave Pittsburgh people alone. I'm good, right? Uh, that the next Sunday, she calls me, right? I pick up the phone. I'm like, oh, hey, yo, what's up? She's like, oh, hey, how you doing? Da 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 da. How was your week and all this? And I'm like, it's been a whole fucking week, yo. Like, I get it, you with your kids and all, but damn, why'd you send me a message asking me how my day is and all this other stuff, not to reply? I didn't say all that because I said, you know what? We just gonna kick it anyways. I'm not even fretting it. It's no big deal. But that was kind of fucking rude, right? Listen. I don't want to kick it with rude people. I just don't, right? Even if we just kicking it, I just don't. So I was like, it's all good, whatever though. So we chop it up a little bit on the thing and all that. And that's when she was actually in the car coming back from somebody's in her family graduated, like her nephew or someone graduated. So they drove down there together. They rented a vehicle or whatever. And she had her kiddos in the car and they were vying for her attention. So that was interesting. And then you can tell she had been around family and her kids all weekend. And she wanted to break from that while she was driving back. And I'm like, holy shit, she's calling me like I'm a fucking convenience and ain't talked to me all week. It is what it is. It's just a kick it thing anyway. We'll see what's up, right? It really didn't bother me all that. I didn't think about it all that much, right? So uh we talking to each, we talking whatever and yada yada. I said, all right, I gotta go. I got things to do. Yada yada. We get off the phone. And when she gets back to her crib, she messages me telling me, oh, hey, I got back safely. We got back safely, all this other stuff, right? I'm like, this is some mixed ass signals, right? Like, you asked me this, that, and the other. You asked me how I'm doing. I hit you up, ask you how your day is going, all this other stuff. Thinking we might have a little convo, just have a little short convo, and then you go on about your day. Didn't hear from you until fucking Sunday, right? Sunday you just call me out of the blue, whatever, which is fine. I always answer my phone. I'm not one of these people that's like, oh my god, a phone call. Like I don't understand that shit. You have a whole fucking phone. Like, how the fuck you scared of phone calls? For fucking real. So listen, if that's you, do your thing, but it don't make no damn sense to me. So I was like, in the convo, it felt kind of off. You know what I mean? And I just was like, whatever. So I get off the phone because I really didn't want to be on it anymore. You know, and I reminded myself, she got a dope ass frame. She fine as hell. So, and this is all about kicking it. So who cares? Ain't no big deal, right? So after that phone call, I was like, yeah, but I don't want to deal with nobody else in this damn city. Like I told you, I got rid of the dating thing because what nothing happened with it anyway, and I wasn't paying attention to it anyway. It just sat there for like a whole damn week or some shit, week 10 days, I guess. And I got some people who liked. I had it was like 20 something people who had swiped like on me, and in Facebook dating, you can see them. You just hit the thing, and it shows you all the people that liked you, and you can then go, yeah, I like you too, or whatever. But I didn't even hit the thing. I just ignored the shit out of it. I was like, I'm good. And so like she got back. She told me she was home safe and all this, and then she kept texting me like we was cool, like she was interested. She's texting back and forth. I got to put these kids down and and actually their dad's about to pick them up, and I got to get them ready. This, that, and the other, right? And I'm like, hey, do your thing, da 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 da. Da. I'm thinking, I don't want to keep saying stuff like you have a lot to do. So, I'm not going to stop you from doing your stuff, right? So, but I'm answering the questions she's asking me, this, that, and the other. I'm asking some questions in return because to me it's a conversation. She's not a boring person or anything. Just because she's spent her whole existence here doesn't mean she hasn't had an interesting life. So I'm asking questions too. She's asking me questions or whatever. Da, 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 da. She shares a video of me with her Afro dance class she has and this, that, and all this other stuff. I'm like, oh, cool. That's dope. She asked about my artwork. I share some. All of this happened in this little texting exchange, right? And so I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, whatever. And so then we talk about, that's when we chopped up about when we gonna meet up because her kiddo's gonna be. And then she said Thursday. I was like, wait, you clearly stated that you want to do some diddy bop in your. I didn't type this, but I was thinking like she clearly stated she wanted to have some fun times in her thing. That's one. She looked good. That's what she said. Most of the people I saw were talking about, I want my lifetime love forever. Right? So she wasn't. She looked good, and she wanted to get down like I wanted to get down. So I swiped right, she swiped right. I thought this what this shit was about. I don't know about you, man, but like if I want to diddy bop you, you want to diddy bop me, and you talking about some 6 days from now, the fuck wrong with you? You okay? You alright? Like, like is your libido that fucked up? Like, the fuck? Like, so I knew right then and there when she said Thursday wasn't nothing gonna happen. I was like, all right, that's cool. We can meet up Thursday. And so then eventually, like, that was it, whatever. So I'm thinking I'll be nice because she hit me up Monday. I said, after we had that convo Sunday, and it was Sunday again, she had already dropped the kids off. We chopped it up a little bit. So the next day, I said to what's up and all this other stuff. Nothing. Now this time she don't have the kids. Remember, her ex picked the kiddos up. When I tell you, not a single fucking reply, word, or anything. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday comes around, still not a word. Removed. And I was like, you know what? It was a great reminder of why I do not, and now will never. Like, let me tell you something. The woman gonna have to sling it at me. She's gonna have to put it in a fucking sling and be like David and freaking Goliath. It's gonna have to fly at me and be like, I want that ding-a-ling right now. Bring it over here. Look at me, I'm hot. And I might be like, all right. But my first question gonna be, are you from here? And if not, how long have you lived here? depending on the answer, even that ain't gonna get me. I don't care how good she look. I'll be like, nah, I'm good. Are you from it? Nah, no thanks. I appreciate it though. Thanks for the interest. Uh, you want some tea? I'll buy you coffee. That's all the heat you getting from me, girl. That's all you getting from me. Well, I've been here 3 years. I'm good. No, thank you. I appreciate it though. Thanks. I'm here visiting. Wherever you at, we're going right now. I'm about to lay it down. I'm about to go lay down and then groove all over your body. I can't do it, man. I can't, bruh. People here goofy. Listen, I'm not saying I'm not goofy. I'm goofy as hell. I said it before. I'm an acquired taste. You know, I I couldn't see nobody want to date my goofy ass. But for some reason, sometimes people want to. I don't really understand why though. But yeah, you said you was down to kick it, so you was lying. You was lying in your thing. You was looking for your forever, but you lied in your account. I was like, I'm good, man. I never need to do this again, and I never did, and I never will. But I'm gonna tell you something. When I fly out of this daggum country, ooh wee, we going dip, dip, dive, so socialized. We gonna get wild. I might die young from a heart attack. That ain't gonna happen. My heart is so sound, it's ridiculous. But let me tell you something. When I fly out of this country, I'm telling you, it's gonna be on like Donkey Kong. I ain't much of a commodity in the United States. Ain't nobody checking for me. And plus, people so twisted when it comes to dating and or anything here that I'm good, man. I'm good. But I'm gonna go back to the places where, you know, people actually want to be around each other. That's what I'm gonna do. You get on the sites every question your life choice. That was it for me, y'all. That was the second time only that I've been on a dating site, and I'm good. I never need to do it again. I'm straight. I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind doing it. Like if I was in I don't know, the UK or some shit. But I'm gonna tell you another place I won't date. I will never ever date in South Africa or fuck that. I don't give a shit who she is. I will never date in South Africa either. The entire country. I fucking refuse. Yeah, I'm not doing the dating. That was it, man. Like I did it because I thought, it'd be cool. Let me see if somebody out there wants to kick it and have some fun. And the two people I saw that said they just want to kick it was full of shit. They didn't just want to kick it. They put that on there hoping to get people's attention and hoping whoever whose attention they get, they can actually get in a long relationship with. So basically they fucking lied. They lied. Oh God, I ain't dating nobody, man. Not from the bird, boy. Like I said, I might lay some pipe, but there's mitigating circumstances. That's all I'm saying. There are mitigating circumstances. The sites there are all the same people. You're in Oregon, right? I believe that. Like someone told me that people will be on them sites for years. Like their account will never change. They'll never get updated. They'll just be on the same account with the same pictures for years. I was like, what? Somebody told me that a couple years ago in a conversation. I was like, I said, they still just be linking up with people? He goes, yeah. I was like, oh, I said, wait, how the fuck do you know that? He was like, because I'm on them. I was like, bruh, do you be meeting people? He goes, yeah. He goes, sometimes. It'd be someone I match with, and we might meet up. Whatever happens, happens. Maybe we'll actually do something. Maybe we won't. Then we unmatch, and like a year later, we end up matching again. I was like, what? Don't you already have each other's numbers and shit? I was like, I don't understand, man. I was like, I don't get it. He's like, yeah, it don't make no sense. I was like, no, it don't make no sense. Shit didn't make no sense to me, yo. I don't know. Like I said, I, you know, I'm the asshole. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I am the asshole, and that's it. Because I don't get it. I really don't. Shit don't make no damn sense to me. All right, time to return this book. Due in 5 days. Ooh. Well, let's manage the loan. Let's return early. Bye bye. All right, that is returned. The next one is going to be The Fire, which is the third book in the series. What? Welcome to your worst nightmare, or maybe one you can't even imagine. A world where everything has changed. There are no books, no movies, no music, no free speech. Everyone under 18 is distrusted. You and your family could be taken away and imprisoned at any time. Your very being is expendable, even unwanted. What world is this? Where could something like this have happened? That's hardly the point. The point is that it did happen and it happens to us. It's happening to us right now. And if you don't stop and pay attention, it could happen to your world next. That's the same thing from the other two books. Okay, so let's see. Who's the co-author for this one? The co-author for this one, James Patterson, is Jill Dembowski. Hi, Jill. How you doing? Jill Dembowski. Wit. You want a fairy tale, don't you? Well, I'm not sure I can give you that. You can find adventure here, that much is true. There's magic too, and murder and intrigue. And there is a man more wicked, more ruthless than any monster or madman lurking in your grimmest childhood nightmares. But there are no heroes. I can't be that for you, not anymore. Not after everything that's happened. Ooh, that's the beginning, y'all. That's the beginning. I got 5 dogs, nails click clacking. Oh, that's cute. I do love dogs. Dogs are so dope. Book 2 did seem to go back quick. The volume is low. Y'all can't hear me? Hold on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It's low? I think it's because of how I was reading. I think it's because I was reading like this. It was just me. But as y'all know, this is talkity talk all the time. Yeah, I'm saying. Are we good now? I don't know why the volume is low. I didn't change anything. The volume should be fine. That's weird. That is weird. Weird. So that happened. I already told y'all about what happened when my sister had the concert, the gospel concert, and all those people, the people that I grew up around. There were two of them, only two of them there that I actually spent some time with, a little bit of time with when I was younger, and they were no different. Like no different than they were when they were younger. I was like, what is going on? I was standing around and I was literally the only person around that had changed in any way, shape, or form because of their life experiences and stuff. Everybody else talked and acted exactly the same. They all grew up here in Pittsburgh in the same church, and all they talked about was the past. Remember when I told y'all not a single soul that I grew up with, including my own family, has ever asked me anything about my life? But yet, they say stuff. And they always say stuff about when I was young, and they're always fucking wrong. Always. Yeah, I'm serious. Not a single person. Not a single person has ever asked me anything about my travels, anything. I asked them. I asked them about their life, where they're at now, what's going on. You know, they tell me about their kids. They tell me about all this other shit. And then they go, remember like when we were younger? And I'm looking at them like, we're we're in our fucking 40s and 50s. The fuck? Why are we talking about when we were 12? I don't give a shit. Like we've said it already. We sat in this corner of the church and okay, there's nothing left. Come on, yo. Have you not lived a life outside of being stuck in your youth? I can't, man. My greatest times in my life was not my damn childhood. They weren't. They weren't. They weren't. I will listen. I'm not saying don't talk about your youth, especially if I don't know you from a can of paint. But if I know you and we grew up together, and I haven't seen you since we were like early teens or since we were teenagers, then what? Why? Why is the only thing we talking about this bullshit? Like for real, don't make no sense, man. I'm seeing quite a few people dipped without even saying goodbye. That's okay. And I do, man. I ask people all the time, what you been up to? Da da da. What's going on? And when I tell you, people don't tell me shit, but they'll sit there and they'll feed off of my fucking energy like it's no one's business. I'm not talking about Pittsburgh people, of course. Pittsburgh people can only talk about when they knew you years ago. Like I am not fucking 14 anymore. What the hell, y'all? That doesn't make any sense to me, yo. But hey, what can I say? Maybe I'm too hard on human beings. I don't know. I don't fucking know anymore, really. You're back at a strong 17%. Now we know why you left. Well, I know why the other people left too. It'd been nice if they would have said goodbye. But I'm learning. I'm learning quite a bit. Y'all, I do have the other book, but I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, y'all. Um, it's Friday. I think I'm probably gonna be taking a break from going out for a while, y'all. I kind of lost my energy for it. I put myself out for over 2 years now, only to be suppressed. Um, to see an extremely high turnover in my life, to see the people that have kicked me a long time now start to fade away too. Uh, it's starting to not feel so good for me. So I don't know. Um, I really do want to keep doing the book reads. So maybe I'm just going to keep it to just the book reads, read the book, And when I'm done reading, I'll say my good nights and whatever, and I'll jump off. I don't know. Um, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm sure I really don't know what to do with this live anymore. Um, when you spend 50 years of your life sharing your energy, sharing who you are all the time, and yeah, keep in mind, like I had a time. I don't know what it like. I guess me and the U.S. just don't get along. You know, I had full on radio shows in Japan, Germany. I did entertainment. If I went back to Tokyo right now, I could literally create an event and make a buttload of money in a weekend right now and have a ton of people show up. But here I just don't mesh well. I just don't. Small Montana, right? Well, here's the thing, right? And that concert thing, everybody that came back to sing, only two of the people were still living in Pittsburgh. But yet they came back and all they did was talk about the past when we were younger, when I was asking them about their life now, to the point where I just stopped asking and stopped talking and walked away. It didn't interest me at all. I don't want to talk about when I was 14. That does nothing for me. Remember when we were this and we did this? Now what? We just keep regurgitating what we did when we were 12, 13, and 14 years old. That's weird to me. It's not weird, but it's empty to me. It's and I realize like they're never actually going to care. Like I know them. They didn't care about me when I was younger. I was convenient. I had skills and talents that people liked. I was the 16-year-old with the car, you know. They didn't know me then, and they don't want to know me now because they just at any time when I see people I grew up with, never do they ever ask me anything about the life I've lived. But there's also another reason why I don't, but that's a different story. There's another reason why they don't, but that's a whole different thing. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump up off of here, yo. N- I might be on here Monday night to start the third book. I have a feeling that I probably will because I do want to read the book. I do want to read it, and well, thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. Y'all, thank y'all for hanging with me. Those who truly did, thank you for hanging with me even after the book was done. I appreciate you. I know it feels very different than being on the TikTok lives. That probably still feels better to people. It feels more engaging and all this other stuff. They pushed a lot. Like even like here's the one thing. Like when I get off this live, it'll probably tell me about 32 people came through the live. The one thing about TikTok, at least like 900 to 1,000 people would have come through my live, even if only 6 to 8 people stayed there. And at some point, we would get 14 or 20 or whatever, and then it would go back down. But here, I'd have to build a lot bigger presence than I have. Yeah, it's very different. Like I know it doesn't feel as engaging for y'all too. I know that. But we also know if I go to TikTok and I do the reads, they're just gonna keep fucking with my account. They'll keep freezing me over and over again. Over freeze quick, but I'm just sick of it. I'm actually sick of social media altogether. Like even the posts I've been posting lately, y'all, I don't like posting. I'm just doing it because I need to promote. Like here's the thing, right? If you've seen the post I've been posting lately, What do you think I have to do to get the post of me sewing the bag, right? I have to keep camera angles. Something that would take me a certain amount of time takes me twice as long to set up shots and do all this other stuff. And then when I'm done, I got to take all of that and I got to edit it down. And because I have to market, it's me. I'm a one person team doing the work of 12 people. So I got to do the marketing, I got to do the filming, I got to do the editing, I got to do the promotion, I got to talk about it. Um and I'm fine with that. It was my choice. I'm not complaining. But I think when it comes to social media, I'm probably just going to go back to just posting on Instagram about my business, and that's pretty much it. Um, for me, the lives are, but just the constant suppression and the constant lack of movement and growth. For me, that it doesn't feel good. It just really doesn't. It's yes, I want my life to grow. Yes, I want to see interaction. Yes, I do. But since I'm new to YouTube going live, I think the only way for me to grow is for me to keep doing it, right? And hopefully people will catch interest and stay. But I also know that I'm learning some things. I've been doing some research on what keeps people's attention. Um, and I'm learning that my the way I am being and the things I'm doing, you look at the numbers, it's the least attentive thing in all of this world of entertainment that we're in, because that's what this is. Doing a live, whether you call it educational, debate, or whatever, it's a part of entertainment, just like TV shows and everything else, just like the radio and podcast and all of that, right? You may be learning something from it or whatever, but it's all part of the entertainment world. So the thing is, think about it like this. Say it's very draining. Um, it's very draining to come out of a TikTok live and see that 900 something people have come through your live, but on average, only seven stayed. It's very draining to have people tell me the silly ass fucking excuses for why, they didn't stay out or whatever. Just say you don't fucking like it anymore. That's it. Just say you only want to be there when I'm reading and you don't give two shits about me. And, just be fucking honest, yo. I don't, what frustrates me the most is people can hear me, be around me, ask questions, all this other stuff, see my energy, and still think that I can't blatantly fucking see what's going on with them. That's another thing that irritates me. And then for a while, what was getting on my nerves was people making me into somebody I'm not, which didn't make sense to me. But it is kind of draining, yo. It is begging people for engagement, asking a question three, four times until you get an answer. Putting up something as simple as a quick, in TikTok, putting up the quick poll, and half the people or less than half of the people participating. Like, how hard is it to just tap a red or blue icon at the bottom of your screen? And people will tell me da 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 da, but then I will see those same people going ham in other people's lives. And another thing I learned is a lot of people that did come to my live, they was upset because they can't come up in the box because they wanted my live to be about them, and they don't come no more. I got a long list of those, y'all. A long list. Some of y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. And I would have to check people like, listen, uh, this ain't Don't come in my live with your person. This ain't the space for you to have a personal phone call. And they would get upset at me, and then they wouldn't show up no more. I give a fuck. Because here's the thing: you was gonna stop coming eventually anyway. When you realize that my space is not about you, you're gonna stop coming because you don't have anybody to argue with. You can be in spaces. A lot of the people can't be in spaces that aren't about them unless there's some type of toxic shit that they can be involved in, where they can read the chat where people are arguing, going at each other, and all this other stuff. Otherwise, they don't want to be in there. It either has to be about them or it has to be full of drama, one or the other. Let me tell you about the only drama I want to see, y'all. Y'all ready? K drama. That's the only drama I want to see in life. Just give me a K drama. You know what I mean? Give me one of them period ones. Give me a good ass animated show. I don't know. Give me a well written TV show or movie or something like that. You know, that's all the drama I need to see. That's it. I'm a I'm gonna get me a K drama partner, yo. That's gonna be a prerequisite for me from now on. Listen, unless we just kicking it, if you want to date me, you better be ready to sit down and watch a K drama and talk some shit about the show, the characters. That's all I'm saying. Me some Baki. Baki is so goofy. See, I remember the original Baki. I had to buy it on VHS back in the day. The new Baki is something else, boy. His dad is a trip, but his dad was the trip in the first one too. Baki Hama. You know what I'm saying? Like, I there's going to be drama in life. There's going to be things that happen financially, whatever. Even if you're financially sound, even if you're extremely comfortable, even if you are considered rich, shit's going to happen. Tires are going to pop. Cars are going to break down. You have the money to take care of it, but other things are going to happen. You might you might be watching your business go down. You might have made a bad trade. Shit's going to happen, right? There's enough drama. Like I'm not for manufactured drama. I'm just not, yo. Exactly. And the sad part is, people really they don't want that in these lives. Well, they don't. They want to feed off of humans going at each other, talking bad about each other, or the opposition. People are loving using the term ops, the ops, the ops, the ops, the ops all the time now. And you hear the people. Tell me you haven't heard it. Yeah, man, where the ops at? Where the Republicans at? Where the Democrats at? Where these fucking liberals at? Where my ops at? Well, if ain't none of them coming in, then I'm probably gonna, whatever. Because that's what's gonna give them engagement. They know that's what's gonna get people in there. They know that's how they're gonna monetize. Ooh, it's telling me to view a message. And that's what they doing. They're doing it because they're saying the same shit every day. They use the same analogy. They ask the same questions every day. People come up, the opposition comes up, and they say the same stuff every day, especially right wing people. They will come up and throw out the same fucking tropes every time. And you can fill up your damn bingo card with it. Bip, 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 bingo. Every time. Good old racist, fascist bingo. Here we go. Bip, 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 bingo. And, you know, and basically they'll say the same tropes, the same bullshit, And the people who are progressives or whatever will will basically go down the same stuff. They'll tell the same history lesson. They'll read the same. They'll go to to the same websites to tell them this to tell thing over and over and over and over again, and they will do it every day. And people will go every day. And the same people will be in there. Oh my God, I just love you, throwing in the accolades and all that stuff every day. The only benefit for me with TikTok was that through the gifts, there was a little bit of chump change every month for me, basically providing a chill space. Let me rephrase. Well, I mean, from TikTok itself. I'm just talking about TikTok. Obviously, the greatest benefit is getting to meet dope people. And I've had a very high turnover. And even the people who rocked with me for a while, they faded away eventually too. And they didn't come here and they won't. The simple fact is, TikTok is the only place people gonna be really. And YouTube is the type of environment where people want everything to be like a podcast. Like they want like interviewing somebody and stuff like that. Like I've researched it. I've been researching it, y'all. I've been researching it. I've been researching the YouTube lives for a while. It's either gaming, um, there's people who cook, but they have like a huge following. But they gained that huge following first and then they went live. I have like 152 followers. Um, and the rest of it is all like interview podcasts. Every live you see, it's basically a live podcast where they're interviewing and back and forth. And so people who go to YouTube lives, this one person up here doing a thing and reading the books and stuff like that. For YouTube, it's not all that interesting. But be straight, we also learned for TikTok. Well, actually, when I first started doing it, like I said, it was growing. I went from 6 people to an average of like 30, from 30 the next month to an average of like 50, and then it was like 100 when they shut down my account. I was averaging 100 people in my live when they shut down my account. Not shut down my account, but you know what I mean. When they stifled everything, when they purposely stifled everything. And I've never been able to get it back since because they permanently cooled my account on TikTok. So it's just not going to grow. I've written 6 emails, and they just gonna allow those 2 people to keep my account fucked up like that, and we know why. And we know why. So for me, it's like, why would I be on there, right? At the same time, there's people I want to support on there, so I do. But for me, I don't really see the purpose for me being on there at all. I don't see it at all. Like for me to be posting, for me to be live on there, it's pretty much a moot point at this time. It's pretty much a moot point, y'all. Hey, y'all want to hear something dope? Do you want to hear something dope? Do you want to hear something dope? Hey, Braun, you are like a founding member, right? For Choco Rabbit, right? You know that, right? I'm trying to find it, y'all. Hold on. I said y'all want to hear something dope, like I already had it ready. You may blame other people, but not me. Or you can blame me. I don't mind. Let's see. Where are you? Where? I just had it ready. What did I do to it? Come on, Bone. You old Billy Goat. You can do this. You old geezer. Why can't I remember the name, y'all? It was right in my head. Now I can't remember. That is a shame. Bone, you old Billy Goat. Wait, hold on. Let me try this another way. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Wait. No, that's not it. Hold on, hold on. Don't go. Don't go nowhere.